In the quiet town of Karnal, under a vast starry sky, a young girl dreams beyond the horizon. Sitting atop the rooftop of her small home, 8-year-old Kalpana Chawla gazes at the stars, her heart filled with wonder. The camera slowly moves in, focusing on young Kalpana. Her bright orange and blue salwar kameez contrasts beautifully with the deep blue of the night. She turns the pages of a book, revealing sketches of airplanes and rockets. While the world around her sleeps, Kalpana dreams of flying, of touching the skies, of reaching the stars. The warm glow of oil lamps from nearby homes flickers, reflecting in Kalpana's eyes. The scene gently shifts as the wind rustles the trees in the background. Even as a child, she believed that the sky was not the limit but only the beginning. The camera tilts upward, showing the infinite sky above. The music swells with a sense of possibility. A single shooting star streaks across the sky, mirroring Kalpana's future journey beyond Earth. Every great journey begins with a dream, and Kalpana Chawla's dream had just begun. Chandigarh, India, a young Kalpana Chawla stands at the threshold of her dreams. Dressed in a simple yet elegant blue and white salwar kameez, she clutches her books with determination. The small bindi on her forehead reflects her cultural roots, while the fire in her eyes speaks of ambition and purpose. The camera zooms in on Kalpana's face as she looks up at the college building, then cuts to students passing by, engaged in conversation. In a time when few women pursued engineering, Kalpana dared to defy expectations. She had always looked to the sky, but now, she was laying the foundation to reach it. Each lecture, each challenge, each late-night study session was a step closer to her ultimate goal, soaring beyond the clouds. The shot shifts to her walking confidently toward the entrance, blending into the crowd of students. The screen fades to black, leaving only her silhouette against the college backdrop. This was just the beginning of her incredible journey. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and for Kalpana Chawla, this was the moment that would change her life forever. The camera slowly zooms in on Kalpana, now in her early 20s, standing at Indira Gandhi International Airport, Delhi. She clutches a small suitcase and a folder of documents, her expression a mix of excitement and uncertainty. Dressed in a modest blue blazer and jeans, she stood between two worlds, the life she had always known, and the dreams that awaited her across the ocean. The camera shifts to her traditional Indian parents, standing nearby. Her mother wipes away a tear, while her father nods with quiet pride. They are emotional, but their support is unwavering. Behind her, the voices of home, the warmth of family, the comfort of familiarity. But ahead of her, the vast unknown, a new country, new challenges, and a dream waiting to be pursued. A plane roars overhead, taking off into the sky. The camera follows its ascent, symbolizing Kalpana's own journey to new heights. As she took one last look back, she knew this was not just a goodbye, this was a beginning. From the quiet streets of Karnal to the cutting-edge training grounds of NASA, Kalpana Chawla's journey was now reaching for the stars. The camera opens with a wide shot of a massive NASA training facility bathed in a warm sunset glow, casting long shadows on the ground. The American flag waves gently in the wind. Kalpana, now in her blue NASA astronaut jumpsuit, strides forward with purpose, a helmet tucked under her arm. Her short black hair is neatly styled, and her NASA mission patches shine in the golden light. Dressed in her NASA flight suit, she was no longer just a dreamer. She was an astronaut in training, preparing for a mission that would take her beyond the Earth itself. The camera pans to the background, where fellow astronauts, both men and women train rigorously near a life-size space shuttle simulator. Some are in discussion, others practice with equipment. The training was grueling. Every day tested her endurance, her intelligence, her will. But Kalpana was no stranger to challenges. She had spent her whole life defying limits. The scene cuts to Kalpana looking up at the towering space shuttle simulator, her eyes reflecting determination and excitement. She was not just preparing for space. She was preparing to make history. The camera slowly tilts up, following Kalpana's gaze toward the sky, where the first stars of the evening begin to appear. The music swells, symbolizing the magnitude of her journey. Years of training. A lifetime of dreams. And now, the moment had arrived. The scene opens with a wide shot of Cape Canaveral, Florida, where the massive Columbia Space Shuttle stands tall, bathed in the golden hues of sunrise. The USA and NASA logos shine boldly on its side. The camera slowly zooms in on Kalpana Chawla and her 6 fellow astronauts, standing together in full space suits, their helmets in hand. Kalpana's eyes reflect determination and excitement as she looks up at the towering shuttle. Kalpana Chawla, alongside her fellow astronauts, was ready to embark on a journey that would take her beyond Earth into the vastness of space. The camera cuts to the crowd of spectators in the distance, where her husband, Jean-Pierre Harrison, watches proudly, along with NASA officials and supporters, all cheering. As the countdown echoed through the air, hearts raced, and eyes turned to the sky. The world was watching. A slow-motion shot captures Kalpana smiling confidently, then placing her helmet over her head. The astronauts begin their final walk toward the shuttle, their reflections visible in the polished surface of the launchpad. In just moments, she would leave the Earth and touch the stars. The scene fades to black as the final seconds of the countdown begin, and the distant sound of rocket engines igniting fills the silence. Hundreds of kilometers above Earth, Kalpana Chawla drifted weightlessly, a dream that had begun on the rooftops of Karnal now a breathtaking reality. The camera opens with a wide shot inside the Columbia Space Shuttle, where Kalpana Chawla floats effortlessly in zero gravity, her blue NASA uniform adorned with mission patches. She moves gracefully, adjusting her position. The camera zooms in as Kalpana holds a clipboard with research notes, her expression focused yet filled with awe. Pages gently float as she makes observations. Surrounded by cutting-edge technology, she worked tirelessly, conducting research, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge, and proving that the sky was never the limit. The camera shifts to a fellow astronaut nearby, carefully conducting an experiment on floating plants inside a small greenhouse chamber, the tiny leaves swaying weightlessly in their controlled environment. Every mission carried new discoveries, new possibilities, a vision of a future where space was no longer unreachable, but a place to be explored, to be understood. The camera tilts toward a large circular space window, where Earth's brilliant blue curve glows against the darkness of space. Kalpana gently drifts toward it, gazing at the planet she once dreamed of leaving. She had left Earth, but never stopped looking back. Because beyond the stars, she found not just space, but a deeper connection to home. The scene fades as the camera lingers on Kalpana floating before the vastness of space, a symbol of perseverance and possibility. 1st February 2003, a moment of triumph was about to turn into tragedy. The camera opens on a dark blue morning sky over Texas, where the Columbia Space Shuttle appears as a bright streak of light tearing across the heavens. Suddenly, the spacecraft breaks apart in flames, sending fiery orange and red fragments scattering in all directions. At nearly 200,000 feet above Earth, Columbia, the ship that carried dreams beyond the sky, was lost. The camera shifts to the ground below, where a vast Texas landscape stretches endlessly. A small group of onlookers, including farmers and townspeople, stand frozen in shock as they gaze up at the tragedy unfolding above them. The flames reflect in their wide, tear-filled eyes. A mother holds her child close. A man removes his hat, bowing his head in disbelief. 7 brave souls, explorers of the unknown, were on their way home, but they would never touch the ground again. The camera follows a single glowing fragment of debris, tumbling toward Earth. Smoke trails linger in the sky, marking the final moments of the mission. The world stood still, mourning the loss of heroes who dared to reach for the stars. Far from the skies of Texas, in a small home in Karnal, a mother's world was breaking apart just like the shuttle carrying her daughter. The camera slowly zooms in on a dimly lit village home in Karnal, India. A small television screen flickers, showing breaking news about the Columbia disaster. The room is silent, except for the distant voices of news anchors reporting the tragedy. In the center of the room, Kalpana's elderly mother sits on the floor, her hands trembling, tears rolling down her face. Her eyes remain fixed on the screen, unable to look away. She had once watched her daughter rise to the stars. Now, she watched the world mourn her loss. The camera pans to a group of neighbors standing quietly nearby. Some have their hands folded in silent prayer, others cover their mouths in shock. The only light in the room comes from the dim glow of the television screen, illuminating their tear-streaked faces. In the background, an Indian flag hangs motionless, a silent tribute to the daughter who had made the nation proud. A village that once celebrated her journey now sat in silence, grieving the loss of their own, the girl who had touched the sky, but never returned. The camera lingers on Kalpana's mother, clutching a framed photograph of her daughter in a NASA spacesuit. Her hands shake, but she holds it close to her heart. Her name would never be forgotten, nor would the dreams she left behind. In the halls of NASA, where history is written in the stars, a nation mourned and the world honored a hero. The camera pans across a grand memorial ceremony at NASA. A large portrait of Kalpana Chawla in her space suit is displayed at the center of a stage adorned with white flowers. Candles flicker gently, casting a soft glow. NASA officials, astronauts, and Kalpana's husband, Jean-Pierre Harrison, stand in solemn silence, their faces filled with both sorrow and pride. She was not just an astronaut, she was a symbol of perseverance, of courage, of dreams that defied gravity itself. The camera moves to the background, where the American and Indian flags fly at half-mast, a tribute from two nations united in loss and respect. Though she left the earth too soon, her legacy would continue to inspire generations, in classrooms, in laboratories, and in the hearts of those who dare to dream. A slow-motion shot captures a young girl in the audience, looking up at Kalpana's portrait with admiration, her eyes reflecting the dreams once held by the astronaut herself. Kalpana Chawla touched the stars, and in doing so, lit the way for others to follow. Some dreams begin in the stars, and others begin in the hearts of those who dare to follow them. The camera slowly pans across a bright, colorful classroom filled with students. Educational posters and charts decorate the walls, and the soft glow of sunlight streams through the windows, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. The focus shifts to a young Indian girl, around 10 years old, sitting at her desk. She wears a vibrant pink and yellow salwar kameez and flips through the pages of a schoolbook about Kalpana Chawla. Her eyes light up with wonder as she reads. For a little girl in Karnal, looking at the night sky had sparked a dream. Now, that dream was sparking a new one. The camera slowly zooms in as the girl lifts her head and gazes at a large poster of Kalpana Chawla in her NASA space suit pinned to the classroom wall. The words "Reach for the stars" are written below it. She may have left the Earth, but Kalpana Chawla's journey was far from over because in classrooms like these, her legacy lived on. The camera shifts to a kind teacher standing nearby, watching the girl with a gentle smile. She notices the child's fascination and places a reassuring hand on her shoulder, encouraging her to dream just as Kalpana once did. The path from dreams to success exists, and because of Kalpana Chawla, many will find the courage to walk it.